Hey. There we go. Now that was quick. All right. Wait, did I do this right? I think so. I think we're good. I think we're good. I think we're good. All right. Okay. All right. What up? Okay. Let's get it rolling, everybody. Hope you guys all had a good weekend. Let's crush the week. No, I didn't trade today. Hell no. You kidding me? Dog, you could have scanned today's price action with your phone and got a discount at Walmart for some cheese. So nasty today. So nasty. Damn, from Italy? Love it. Love it. Let's talk charts. Let's talk charts. Man. Absolute ridiculous. All right. I got to make my way out to Nashville. All right, guys. This week is super slow in regards to news. And we only realistically have one high impact news day. Like literally just one. Our only high impact news day that actually means something this week. Oh shit. I forgot. I am not I was just ranting before I could even like show the charts. There we go. That's better. Thank you for reminding me. The only relevant high impact news day this week is Thursday. FOMC meeting minutes does not count, doesn't mean anything. So completely like push that day out of your mind. We have basically just no news Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That's it. Friday's Jerome Powell speaking at 10 o'clock. And then Jackson Hole, I don't even know how to say that word, is whatever all day. So our main focus, I guess, when coming into a day or a week when we have no high impact news until later on in the week, you're just reliant on the 9:30 open for equities. Now, when we're looking at like this higher time frame chart, because we're obviously like deriving everything and just looking at it from a weekly perspective just to start off, what do we notice, at least as of right now? What do we notice is the fact that all three assets, NQES and the Dow Jones, have closed below the high that we ran from the previous week. Now, with me seeing that and me seeing how we closed below the run of that external high, I'm going to anticipate and assume that we're most likely going to have some sort of pullback or retracement back down into the range. And it's either that is the case or we're going to get a higher time frame consolidation. And with a higher time frame consolidation, leaving us trading and staying within the previous week's candles range, creating a weekly bullish fair value gap moving into the following week, and then price just continuously trading higher. That is kind of how we have to treat this and operate moving into this full trading week. Now, for today's price action, like how we traded, it was an absolute mess. Like it was a mess. There was one short that people could have taken that you could have capitalized on, and I'll break it down. as to how you could have done it. So like the one opportunity that there was today was playing the 10 o'clock. The 10 o'clock open high low close on NQ. That would have been like realistically the only thing that I could have done for a short position. So as a quick review, we had a little 4-hour gap that we have right here. And inside of that 4-hour gap, we had the tag here while we had the failure to tag it on the Dow Jones. So there was your SMT set in just like that. But obviously, the delivery was still extremely, extremely poor. So at this time, like there was that SMT set in. Let me skip. Replay here. Let's bring it down to like this. It was more so clear, I guess, from like a 5-minute or like even lower than the 5-minute chart, like a 3-minute or a 1-minute time frame. So the time frame from here, we had the higher high on the NASDAQ, the lower high on the Dow Jones, just like this. This was the higher high that was set in, creating that wick on the higher time frame. So realistically, the only way you would have been able to capitalize on this is if you took a short down to this corresponding low here, and we had that M5 like bearish order block that was set in after sweeping this high here. But the risk to reward metric didn't really make sense to me because I couldn't like put my stop above here and then look to target. Like it didn't equate to a 1 to 2 risk to reward, and this would have been my draw for looking for that short. Or if you took it on the S&P 500, likewise, same thing. And then you would also have to be managing it simultaneously, watching the corresponding lows. If one got taken out, readjust your stop loss, readjust your risk. But this was like literally the only thing that would have made relative sense to me today. But watching how we traded prior, like, oh my God, this thing was this was all over the place. This is why like I didn't take any short, I didn't do anything, because past 12 o'clock, like I got off my stream at like 10:45. I was like, guys, this is literally a mess. I don't really know what to do here. And we ended up just range bounding and then end up taking them out like, where the fuck was it? This is horrendous. Range bounding, but we ended up like sweeping out this low, came back and forth, like legitimately just all over the place. Like this was just not the day to trade. So gross. But back to higher time frame analysis. What do we currently have right now? There's an SMT set in on our daily time frame. Wait, why do I have... Where's NASDAQ? My NQ got disappeared. That's so weird. I think I was literally just doing simultaneous... I was doing simultaneous analysis on ES on 2 different screens. The short was like this. That short down there, or that short from this M5, and then that was literally it. But we have an SMT set in at these daily highs. As you can see, we have the sweep of this daily high here on ES, and we have the higher high set in while we have lower highs set in just like this. And we have from this daily close looking to be a swing high formation. And I would like to see the Dow Jones come down into this daily bullish fair value gap here. Just like a simple daily external to internal range liquidity pool draw. And that kind of makes the most sense to me, especially with the SMT set in at the highs. So if we can get some sort of framework of a continuation play down into this gap, and then NQ and ES follow suit. Another thing that's kind of standing out to me is these lows here on NQ. This kind of like trend line buildup on the hourly, this kind of looks like an original consolidation, in my opinion. But don't get me wrong. this entire, all of this shit here is such a turn off to me. I don't know about you guys, but this is nothing that is giving me such like high conviction, high probability conditions that I could be like, you know what? This is the most obvious draw on liquidity. Because like this is now just a buildup of just a trend line above, even though it has SMT. It's basically me framing this trade from just a daily external to an internal range liquidity pool draw from the Dow Jones. Now, I will look to take shorts in retrospect as long as Dow hasn't taken into this daily gap yet on NQ or ES, primarily just NQ. This is the most obvious place where I think that price will draw into. And then as that's happening, I want to short NQ down to these lows. That is what makes the most sense to me. While at the same time, I'm going to assume if we can take out these lows, the S&P 500 will fail and will create some sort of SMT there. I do have a daily gap marked off on the NASDAQ all the way down here. Do I think that we're going to get there? No. I don't think that we're going to get there. But take these days slow. Like as of right now, like we have an SMT set in at these lows here now. We have SMT set at the highs. There's realistically there's no like particular reason that's so standoutish for me to say price can go lower or it can go higher. I'm leaning lower, but price could still go higher, even creating an SMT set in here. But I'm also neglecting the fact that this fair value gap is already used. Since we tagged it here, we took out external high. I'm not reusing it as an unmitigated gap because you guys already know my rules. My rules are if price tags a fair value gap and then takes out an external high, that is no longer a gap that I would utilize for framework behind a trade. That's not on my agenda. There's my fucking earring back. But we have a daily inverse gap here from the NASDAQ. So that's why I have the SMT set at the highs. We have a daily inverse gap here that we're trading into. And I would like to see either it's going to be a slow bleed or it's going to be some sort of 930 manipulation, create some sort of high set in, and then we could trade down into this. That's like honestly what I want to see the most. And what makes the most sense to me. So I hope that you guys are on the same sort of page in regards to what I'm viewing here on indices, because this is realistically the only thing that makes sense to me. Also, if you're in the live and you want more of these, hit the like button and I will definitely do them every single week. Like we have 78 people in here. I want to see a good amount so that I can keep on dishing out these outlooks for you guys. I just want to make sure that this is something that you enjoy and it finds value to you. But this is my view on indices. I'm not covering gold. I'm sorry if that upsets you, but I'm not covering gold. Miss me with that. So we'll cover EU and GU. And as of right now, our analysis that I gave out has been pretty spot on since I called out the move from this order block here. We have had a very, very aggressive move. Our last outlook that we actually had, we called out on that Monday. The SMT set in inside of that daily gap, and we wanted price to expand higher, and then we ended up reaching this daily external high. So for the people that watched the outlook last week, I'm hoping and I'm assuming that you were able to capitalize on this long here when we called out EU and GU. Or if you were even in the live prior, the previous week, we called it out from down here, looking for the euro longs from that aligned order block and the fair value gap. So that was a very nice and smooth move from here. Just as of right now, I'm just super turned away from foreign currencies Yo, can like this guy like stop spamming this? I'm putting you in timeout because I just read that and that's just very annoying. See you, buddy, idiot. Um. Anyways, God, some of you guys just don't have any fucking patience. It's like literally insane. Anyways, from a weekly perspective, we're kind of still just chopped around, like not really doing too much. It's a slow grind higher, but like the draw obviously will eventually be up here at 118, 299. Dollar just also needs to cooperate. Like we have that SMT set in at these monthly highs. Where is this? It was when I invert it. The SMT was set in like this. We have the higher low here, and then we have the lower low here on GU and dollar and EU higher low. So obviously my view is looking for euro longs just like that. So it's the slow grind from the weekly. The daily doesn't really have a clean read. Like it's like right now, it's more so of a consolidation expansion. As of right now, we're still within this daily bearish gap. Like we inversed it on that Wednesday from last week, and now we're kind of just sideways back and forth within it. I haven't been looking for trades on it, mainly because I don't know what dollar wants to do. Dollar inverse that daily gap that I have marked off here, and I covered this in the last live stream. And if we can inverse this daily gap, then I'm going to assume that the lows from 97.107 are going to be vulnerable and get taken out. But if I look at the daily on GU, I have an alert already, like you guys said. I have an alert at 134.880. And that pretty much lines out with the daily gap roughly in here. So if price has this daily high ran out, we're going to assume that the daily internal range liquidity pool would be the next draw on liquidity. So if we are looking to continuously frame higher prices, this is just merely a retracement back into the range, rebalancing an imbalance, and then price make its way back higher again. So if the stars align properly and we get what we need to have, that SMT that would potentially be created with either euro failing to take out, let's say, this low here from Thursday, and then we create an SMT like this, just like that, or we get a fall, like a collapse on EU, and EU ends up attacking like maybe this low here. It's kind of really just dependent on what dollar wants to do. And I think that what is going to pivot price is that high impact news on Thursday. So I'll be very careful and selective when it comes to your executions from hourly perspectives. So if you're looking to catch like a good swing trade or a good position on, at least to hold it from like a daily to a 1 hour perspective, I would want to see that news be the impact for the week, and then you could swing it into the next, honestly. So right now, the daily chart's kind of chopped around. The only thing that looks clear is that daily gap on GBP USD. So say your alerts here, and if price creates an SMT inside that daily gap, then you can attack it on. Bitcoin is, I couldn't even tell you. That weekly close was not good. And like looking at ETH, obviously ETH is super, super strong. As of right now, I think that Bitcoin honestly will consolidate for the rest of the month. I think that Bitcoin's going to range, and it's either going to hold this daily gap that it just tagged here alongside of the daily gap tagging this daily bullish order block here. But in my personal opinion, I think it's going to consolidate. I think it's going to do another one of these, in my opinion. I think Bitcoin's going to do another one of these. And once it finally wants to expand again, it'll expand from maybe a monthly gap like this. That's my opinion. I think Bitcoin just doesn't really do much until maybe the next monthly candle can trade lower to then go higher. But I'm not really too intrigued with this, especially after that last daily close from the 14th. So it's either Bitcoin chops around and consolidates just like how it's done here, how it's done here. It's literally just consolidation, manipulation, expansion, consolidation, manipulation, expansion. I think that most likely what's going to happen, it's going to consolidate, it's going to manipulate into a key level like this, and then we're going to expand after that. So like this to then that from a monthly key level. And then you frame a daily market maker buy model after running out this low here. Like we took out the highs here of the range. I think that we could take out the lows. Most likely. Like this would be the ideal scenario. And then having this happen in September. And keep in mind, like we only have, like we're halfway through the month. So like 2 more weeks and then we could see if Bitcoin can open low, high, close for September. That makes the most sense. No, 930 has no direct correlation at all to Euro or GBP. That's why I'm not literally. That's why I'm not focusing on foreign exchange right now. Foreign exchange can clip you like it's no tomorrow. And also, like, I'm just not interested in trading FX like at all. Even especially in these summer months, I'm just not interested. I haven't been interested. The only thing that I care about in watching is what's it called? Indices and watching what happens at 9:30. So as of right now, from this analysis that I gave out, I want to get a feel as to what you guys think for indices bias. So let's say weekly bias on indices. Bullish. I literally just answered that question. So let me see what you guys think for right now on this week. Good, VTG. I think this is the most probable case scenario when it comes to Bitcoin. Definitely the most obvious. And then for indices, I'm literally just going to be looking for price to continue lower. I'm just hoping that it's clear. It's clear price. Yeah, like Ricky, I swear, like I feel like some people just don't have ears. But we have the SMT at the highs. It's just this needs to clear up. This needs to clear up. And then I think that the low-hanging fruit for the week being this low at 44,770 on YM. So honestly, I might look to short the Dow Jones if it gives me an opportunity tomorrow. Dude, I'm not kidding. I might just start banning people. Like I can't. I'm happy to hear that, brother. I'm happy to hear that. And like, here's a rule of thumb. When you come into the day and like you have your first view on from like a higher time frame perspective, like you start coming into the week, and you just look at what the previous week did, how we're opening up on this Monday. If it's not really screaming at you within the first like 10 seconds of developing and creating a bias, your best bet is to most likely either one, wait for news, or two, heavily rely on the 9:30 open. Because that's usually what I do every single day. If 9:30 open doesn't give me clarity, then obviously the new 4 o'clock candle will give me the idea as to what to do next. Because like today, the 4 o'clock candle, us creating that SMT divergence inside of that 4-hour bearish gap that we had here, and then trading and looking it down from a lower time frame perspective, like this. Nothing at 9:30 was present. We had no SMT inside of this. Like, did anybody take the short here when we closed below? When we closed below this up close candle here, did anybody take this short? Once we did this, hold on, wait, let me fix it. Right here, did anybody do this? For whatever that is. I definitely know some people did. Like 100%. And the thing is, with this time and what happened here, what I saw was no resting SMT between any of the 3 correlated assets. At this time, there was literally nothing. So 10 o'clock was the play on, and then 10 o'clock came in, traded back higher again, and then price provided another 5-minute CSD, which was the actual valid one, and then we sunk down lower. But the risk to reward was just so unbelievably skewed, and I know people got so edged on that what's it called, that double bottom low, which is crazy. But if you had to take it from that 4-hour gap to 15-minute, you would have had to take it on a 3-minute or a 1-minute time frame short, because the risk to reward was just so unbelievably skewed. Like, the only real thing, like if you took it on a 1 minute or if you took it on a 3-minute time frame, it would have to be like a 1-minute inverse or the 3-minute order block right there, and it would have had to be like this, like that, to this, to then like you're getting a 1.5 risk to reward, like that. That would have been the only thing that I could see. You would definitely not be able to take it on the 5-minute. Definitely would not have. The 1-minute inverse, the 3-minute order block, the 5-minute OB was there, but you would have had like you would have had the shittiest risk to reward possible. So I just didn't trade this at all because it was just not interesting to me. But I see 57% of everybody were bearish. Got it. Well, I hope that everything plays out properly, and we don't just consolidate until Thursday. That's what I really, really hope. I hope price just doesn't range bound until our high impact news day, because I know a lot of you aren't going to be able to sit on your hands and wait. But you should be completely fine with waiting just to see what happens next with price delivery. If it doesn't offer your price signature, don't do anything. But my eyes are literally just glued to this low and this daily gap. Yeah, if I were you, I would download Truth Social, because I get all the notifications when Trump tweets or posts anything. Like, my feed is literally just like this. And I just have his notifications on. And whenever he posts something, I look and see what it is. But a majority of the time, it's like, It's either him complaining about some bullshit or other. It's really he posts a lot. So it's called Truth Social, but the app I believe is just called Truth. Where is it? The app is. It's called Truth Social. Would I close the trade if he rants about Powell on Truth? I have no idea. It's really never happened to me. But probably not. I would probably not close the trade just because he posted something about Powell. I would probably either one. Yeah, no, I just wouldn't. I just would not. Yeah, it did. And I took a loss. But also, like, if he says something and I'm in a trade, you're not going to be able to react that fast to close out of your position before price already did its move. Like, you're literally going to have to just eat it. You can't get the notification, see what was posted, and then close your trade within enough time. It's literally just going to fuck you. Like, you're going to get fucked. And there's no way around it. No way around it at all. Trust me. Trust me. But I think we covered everything. I think that this should be a decent trading week if the bias is correct. Again, leaning bearish. Want to see these lows on NQ. Want to see this low on the Dow Jones. And I want to see that daily gap on GBP USD. And then price expanding from there. And then we'll see how we can do on indices once we reach these certain points of interest. You know? Yeah, follow Trump on Truth Social. Follow him on there. But hopefully we can bank, and hopefully you guys can capitalize on some good moves. Just be patient and don't come in every single trading day looking for trades. Keep your trigger finger like on caution mode, if I could say. Because the last thing that you want to do is get caught up in a price action day like this, blowing your accounts. This is an absolute nightmare. Absolute nightmare. No, I don't. I don't use that. I don't at all. If I take a trade on the 1 minute time frame, it's only because Nick does, and then I'll just follow suit. That'd literally be the only way. But take care, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. Good luck, good trading tomorrow. If I catch a good trade this week, I'll have it posted on YouTube. And yeah, we're really close to 40,000 subs. I'm really excited. And I'll definitely do something special for you guys once that milestone is hit. But if you want more of these and you want to have these consistently every Monday and they help you, hit the like button, comment, let me know, or any sort of advice in the future. I would love to help you guys out. But take care, guys. Be safe, and I will talk to you guys all later on. Deuces, everyone.